BMW 2AA9, check the second DISA valve before buying an intake manifold. This is usually a failed DISA valve 2 motor, damaged connector, or broken wiring. Start by checking its plug and scanning the fault status before ordering any intake parts. BMW code 2AA9 is a DME fault for Variable Intake System servomotor 2 activation. On N52 inline-six engines with 2 intake adjusters, the DME cannot electrically operate the second DISA flap as commanded. You may feel a flat spot in acceleration, rough idle, reduced low and pull, worse fuel economy, or a check engine light. Some BMWs drive almost normally because the intake can remain in one airflow position. This fault is not automatically a stop driving emergency, but do not ignore it for months. Stop driving and arrange inspection if the engine misfires badly, stalls, flashes the check engine light, or makes rattling intake noises. The cheapest cause is a loose, oil-contaminated or corroded connector, often costing nothing to fix. Next come cracked wires near the manifold, then the DISA motor itself. A damaged manifold is less common. Low voltage can also trigger activation faults, especially after a weak battery or jump start. If you have several unrelated BMW electrical codes, test battery condition and charging voltage before blaming the intake valve. First, use a BMW capable scan tool to read all DME codes and freeze frame data. Record whether 2AA9 is currently present or only stored, and look for companion intake adjuster, throttle, misfire, or voltage faults. Clear nothing yet. A current fault that returns immediately after starting points more strongly to an electrical circuit or failed actuator than to an old intermittent connection problem. For reading and clearing BMW specific faults, phone and handheld scanners are available at carcodesauto.com. Switch the engine off, remove the key, and let hot or moving parts cool. Then pop the hood and find the second DISA unit on the N52 intake manifold. On many layouts, it is a smaller rearward actuator. Look closely at the connector before unplugging it. Check for a broken locking tab, backed out terminals, green corrosion, oil intrusion, or wiring pulled tight against the manifold. Repair obvious loom damage before replacing the valve. With the connector fully seated again, clear the code and retest. If your BMW scan tool offers an intake adjuster activation test, run it with the engine safely off and hands clear, then watch whether 2AA9 returns. If you own a multimeter and have the BMW wiring diagram for your exact N52 application, check the circuit only at the specified pins. Do not guess at terminals or bridge connections. Module damage costs far more than diagnosis. To inspect the valve mechanically, keep the intake opening clean and remove the DISA only after the engine is off, key removed, and fully cool. Cover the opening immediately so no dirt, screws, or tools enter. Inspect the flap, gears, housing, and seal for cracks, looseness, or binding. Check the O-ring, replace if damaged, lightly lubricate it only when appropriate, then fully seat the valve using the BMW engine-specific tightening specification. After reassembly, check for intake leaks, clear fault memory, and drive until the readiness checks run. A new vacuum leak can create lean codes and rough running that distract from the original 2AA9 diagnosis. Connector repair can be free to about $100 or euros. Wiring repair commonly runs $100 to $400. A quality DISA valve plus labor is often $250 to $700 depending on BMW model and local rates. Replace the intake manifold only when inspection proves its mounting bore, internal flap hardware, or manifold structure is damaged. That can reach roughly $700 to $2,800 or euros fitted, so do not buy one for an activation code alone. If DISA valve 2 has proper BMW specified power and command but fails the activation test, replace it. If those signals are missing, repair the connector or wiring before buying the valve.